WrestleMania 2000, the biggest WrestleMania of all time. Up to that point, WWE like to do this. They like to say, this one is the big one. Every time they get to a landmark, they say, no, it's not getting bigger than this. And then when they get to the next landmark, oh no, this is the big one, this is the big one. And at the time, WrestleMania 2000, this was supposed to be the big one. This was WrestleMania 16. Let's get straight into the card, shall we? First match, Big Boss Man and Bull Buchanan beat D'Lo Brown and The Godfather in just a standard tag team match. This match is okay. I don't remember anything too specific about it. Ice-T came out to the ring and rapped like a little bit of a... did a bit of rhyming and it was shit basically, his rap. Leading down Godfather and D'Lo to the ring, but that was that. Opening match, bit there. Something to get the crowd like going though. The version of it that I watched was the WWE edited one, where it's all blurred and they've piped music in and they've piped music out and they've piped crowd noise in and stuff, so I can't really give you much information about how the crowd were really reacting at this moment in time because the stuff that I saw was manufactured, basically. So yeah, next match, Hardcore Battle Royal. We all loved this when we were kids, the Hardcore Battle Royal. We thought it was absolutely fantastic. I did especially. Going back and watching it, I didn't think it was too great. It had lots of guys in it, too many guys to list. But basically, I think Crash Holly went into the match as Hardcore Champion. And the winner at the end was his cousin, Hardcore Holly. And to win the match, I think he got a jar of Snickers, little Snicker bites, and smashed it onto Taz's head and then pinned Taz, who had the Taz mission on... Taz had the Taz mission on Crash Holly, and then I think after Hardcore Holly nailed him with that jar of stuff, the thing went all over the ring, and then Hardcore Holly pinned Crash Holly, and the referee counted 1, 2, and then he sort of put his hand down, but I think it's because there was glass in the ring, because when the jar started, he didn't want to he slammed his hand in the glass twice and thought, oh shit, I'm not doing this a third time. And then there's all confusion about who was the Hardcore Champion. Like, oh, did he get the pin? Was it free? No, was it not free? Because it was to a time limit. It was just sort of weird. Kai and Ty were in it, APA, Viscera, Mean Street Posse. They all won the title in it. It's pretty bullshit, to be honest, but it's fun for the kids and it's fun for people to watch. It's sort of someone who doesn't care that much about wrestling. It's fun to watch it, so I think there is a place for that in professional wrestling, but very rarely. Next up, TNA, not TNA, T&A, beat Head Cheese. TNA, of course, were Test and Albert, and Head Cheese were Steve Blackman and Al Snow. Al Snow and Steve Blackman were sort of a throw-together tag team. The gimmick sort of was that Al Snow was like the funny guy and Steve Blackman was the straight guy, and Al Snow would keep winding Blackman up with all stupid jokes. And the joke on this one was they had a guy with his arse out, dressed in a big triangle of cheese coming out, slapping his arse to music, and Steve Blackman kicks him in the face in the end. TNA got the win in the end as well. Again, nothing really to say about this match. But basically, the stuff on this was all very gimmicky. The in-ring work wasn't like anything fantastic. It was just sort of, you all know what you're doing. Go out there, tell this little bit of a gimmicky story, and then get out of there. Next match. This is actually a really good match. TLC 1. You got Edge and Christian versus the Hardys versus the Dudleys. The tag team titles are up there above the ring. And this is a fucking amazing match. Now, I don't ask, was it a TLC match or was it just a ladder match? No, that's a question actually. I think it was a TLC match because going into it, like the Dudleys brought the tables into it, the Hardys brought the ladders, and Edge and Christian brought the chairs. Do you remember the concerto? That's something that doesn't really get mentioned anymore, is it? But yeah, this is an amazing match. These 6 guys used themselves as crash test dummies. They were flying through the air, flying through tables, smacked through tables, smacked with chairs, smacked with ladders. These 6 guys really deserve your applause, basically. They really tried the hardest here, and I was posed a question the other day, like why do people like Jeff Hardy? And this is one of the reasons why, because he put himself through so much in the early days of his career. He's sort of thrown it all away in the latter days, but in the early days he was so good. He was just a crash test dummy, basically. And yeah, Edge and Christian got the win. I think Matt Hardy was like battling with Christian on top of 2 ladders with a table in the middle, and then Edge snuck up behind, threw Matt Hardy off the table, through another table, which is a good little spot, and Edge and Christian got the titles. It's a really good match. I remember I showed Amy it once and she enjoyed it too. Next up, Terry versus the Cat. Now, a little side story. Has anyone seen the shoot interview with New Jack where he talks about Terry all the way through it, and the name's beeped out because you can't really say it's Terry? The stuff he tells us about her in that shoot video is mental. It's absolutely mental. But then the picture he's taken of her and he put on his Facebook, that's mental as well. Like, with the blood going down her face and she's not wearing any makeup. It doesn't even look like it. It looks totally weird. That's a whole weird situation. This match is rubbish. Basically, the winner was the one who threw the other one out the ring. Kat had thrown Terry out the ring already. Mae Young and Moolah were all... One was on one side, one was on the other side. I think Mae Young was on Kat's side and Moolah was on Terry's side. Terry was the heel, Val Venus was the referee, so Val Venus kisses them both during the match, and then Mae Young starts kissing Val Venus just as Kat has thrown out Terry, but then Moolah gets involved, pulls Kat out the ring, throws Terry back in. Val Venus turns around, sees one's out the ring and one's not, and then awards the match to Terry. Terry wins the match. Next up, Too Cool and Chyna beat the Radicals, who were Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko and Perry Saturn. This is a decent match. As you can tell, I'm going really quickly in this video. I want to get this match over and done with because I'm doing this in the half-time between Newcastle and Arsenal, and it's 1-1, and Van Persie just scored a quick equaliser about 20 minutes ago, and I really want to get back to it and watch it. So, sorry if this video is really quick, but at least you don't have to sit through too much of me blabbing around. Anyway, right, so we've got this Too Cool and Chyna match. The story going into it is basically that Chyna was like being courted by Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero wanted to date her, but she wasn't giving in yet. She did not want to get off with Eddie Guerrero just yet. Decent match. All the Radicals were great workers. Too Cool were okay. Chyna was okay at the time as well. Too Cool was sort of like a tag team. Radicals were a tag team, so that made sense all going into it. And Too Cool and Chyna got the win. A nice little happy ever after sort of story. Next up, Benoit, Jericho and Angle for the Intercontinental and European title. Defended all by the Eurocontinental champion Kurt Angle, but his advisor Bob Backlund said, you know what, I'm going to put both belts on the line in this match. And Bob Backlund fucked it, didn't he? Because Benoit ended up winning the IC title and Jericho ended up winning the European title, and this is a very good match. I highly recommend that you people go out there and watch this match if you've not watched it before. Now I know some of you haven't watched it, some of you weren't watching wrestling at this time, that's fair enough. This is like 13 years ago, 12 years ago. But yeah, go back and watch it. Go back and watch this stuff, and like, I think everyone will really enjoy this Benoit Jericho Kurt Angle match. Apart from if you're really old school and you grew up in the 60s and 70s and you enjoy that stuff more. This match was brilliant. Like I said, Benoit won the IC title, Jericho won the European title, and Angle, having gone into the show with 2 belts, is now left without any. Obviously, he would be propelled up the card after this, but we weren't to know that at the time. I hated Kurt Angle at the time as well. I hated him. Next up, semi-main event. Rikishi and Kane beat X-Pac and the Road Dogg. Now, the story going into this, Kane had been dating Tori, but then Tori turned her back on Kane and joined X-Pac. This match was sort of a match that that should just be on Raw, really. Kane and X-Pac had the feud. That's your main event. That's your pay-per-view quality match. But throwing Road Dogg in there, throwing Rikishi in there, it was blatant that they just did this to sort of throw all these guys on the card and say, hey, listen, I've got something for you to do. Just do this. Rikishi pretty much stink-faced everyone in the match. X-Pac Bronco busted. The crowd chanted, X-Pac sucks, and WWE didn't edit that out, and I thought it was really bad. And I don't understand the X-Pac heat out, why people really don't like him. I think he's really good, and I really liked him back then. When he did the Bronco Buster, that move was cool as fuck, do you know what I mean? Anyway, main event time. World title, Rock, Mick Foley, Big Show and Triple H. Now this must be the first time, and probably the only time ever, that 2 cousins were in the 2 main events at WrestleMania. Well, not the 2 main events, but the main event and the semi-main event, because Rock main evented and Rikishi was on the semi-main. But yeah, this match was basically not so much about the world title, which was on the line, but more about the McMahon family storyline going into it. But something The Rock did going into it was he cut a promo and he said, you know what, it's not about all this stuff, it's not about the Big Show, it's not about all the choke slams, it's not about all the mandible claws, it's not about all the pedigrees they've done to me, it's not about Foley's last hurrah, it's not about the McMahon family, it's about the world title. And he sort of focused in on that, and it made us want to know what's happening with this world title even more. And then in the match, Vince McMahon leads The Rock down to the ringside, Stephanie leads Triple H down to the ringside, Linda McMahon leads Mick Foley down to the ringside, and Shane McMahon leads the Big Show. Big Show, by the way, looked the best he's ever looked. He looked fucking amazing. He looked like he'd worked out basically that he wasn't. And now I get it. Now I get it why people call Big Show slow and lazy. I always defend him and say, no, listen, he's just a big guy. But comparing him to back then, when he was like, you could tell he worked out a little bit. Maybe he was having, taking certain substances that he shouldn't have been taking to sort of trim fat or whatever. But still, he looked fucking excellent back then. He was the first one eliminated. Rock bottomed him, got the pin, 1, 2, 3. Big Show's out of there with Shane McMahon. And then Triple H ends up eliminating Mick Foley. Shane McMahon runs down, beats on Vince McMahon, and then fucking nails him. Sorry for swearing, but I'm an Attitude Era mod here. Nails him with a steel chair across the head, and you're like, oh, that looked like it hurt, that one. Vince comes up his blade and he's bleeding all down here. Sort of like Terry Runnels on that picture I mentioned. And then basically Shane goes out to the back. Vince McMahon maybe chases him out. No, Vince McMahon's carried out by Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe. And now we left Rock and Triple H. They're going at it tooth and nail. After this match, amazing stuff all the way through. Not amazing stuff, but very good stuff all the way through. Dragged a little bit towards the end. This little bit between Rock and Triple H. This could have been a lot shorter. A funny spot was where Rock was laid out on the table. Mankind climbs up on like the top rope, jumps outside, tries to put him through the table. Table doesn't break. Triple H ends up jumping on Rock, can't put him through the table. Then he jumps on him again. The table just sort of like goes lopsided and then falls rather than breaking not totally. It looks like a rubbish spot, and I really hate it when the table doesn't break and they continually go back to it like, no, we're gonna get this spot, and it's like, no. It looks ridiculous. Leave the table, go back to it in 10 minutes time or something. Make it look like you've forgotten all about it, make it look like it wasn't supposed to break in the first place. So yeah, now we're down to then basically Triple H gets Mankind, who's now fucked himself because he basically rammed himself against the table from the top rope. Throws him back in the ring, pedigrees him, 1, 2, 3, Mick Foley's out of there. Rock versus Triple H, and then just as these two are going at it, and Rock's got a little bit of the upper hand, and then they're both down. They both get up. Vince McMahon comes back out, gets a steel chair, and whack! He nails The Rock. Why has he nailed The Rock? The Rock's his guy. The Rock's the guy he was supporting in this. The whole reason of him supporting The Rock is because he hates Triple H for shagging his daughter. But now he's turned on The Rock. And it sort of doesn't make sense, but it does make sense because the whole point of it was that this family is dysfunctional. The family don't even know what's going on, so how can the storylines make any sense? Because the family doesn't know what's going on, and that's why it didn't make sense, because the family are all over the place. And then he whacks him with a chair. Triple H covers him, 1, 2, Rock starts getting up, McMahon nails him again. Triple H covers him going 1, 2, 3. Triple H is your new champion, but Triple H is knackered, he's out of it. Rock gets up and he's staring down Shane. And he's staring down Vince and Stephanie. Shane runs out. Rock bottoms Shane. He rock bottoms Vince. And Stephanie starts piping up. So then he rock bottoms Stephanie. As he gets up, he has a little feel of a boob. I noticed that. Triple H starts getting up. Bam, nails him back out of the ring. People's elbow to Stephanie. Rock leaves King of the Mountain. But Triple H is the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, what did you think, guys? I'm guessing a lot of you have seen this, WrestleMania 16. This isn't like an older one. This is like one of the newer ones. Everyone talks about the Attitude Era being so good. If you think the Attitude Era is so good, you must have seen this pay-per-view, and I'm sure a lot of you have. Now, let me know what you think of it down below. I'm going to get back to the Arsenal game. I probably missed the first 5 minutes of the second half, but it's okay. Let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of the series altogether. And with that, I'm out. Thank you very, very, very much for watching, and stay tuned because I'll be back with WrestleMania 17, and thank you to Ghost of Japan for sending me that, because now I can watch it, because I don't have that, so I need to watch that, review it hopefully tomorrow, and get it up ASAP. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.